Win at Life Online Ministry. DMV's favorite bishop, Robert Lewis Taylor. Promise not to keep you long. Break away, break through, break free, break out. Our lesson title, Meritorious Manumission. Meritorious Manumission, Part 1. Activist and comedian Dick Gregory many years ago shared the following regarding a visit to Alabama. Dick Gregory said it this way: some of us perhaps can relate. Dick Gregory said, I was down south and I walked into a restaurant. The waitress came to me and said, we don't serve colored people. I said to her, it's all right. I don't eat colored people. Bring me a whole fried chicken. About that time, those three cousins came into the restaurant. Back in the day, you would have heard of these three cousins. Ku Klux Klan. They screamed at me, boy, we're giving you a fair warning. Boy, anything you do to that chicken, we're going to do to you. Hearing this, ladies and gentlemen, I put aside my knife and fork, picked up the chicken, and I kissed it. Everyone in the restaurant fell out laughing. Meritorious manumission. Sounds fancy, doesn't it? Somewhat difficult even to pronounce. Meritorious manumission was established during America's slavery period. It was a law written in 1710 by which an enslaved African American could be granted their freedom based on doing 4 specific actions beneficial only to the United States government as well as to the slave holders. Meritorious manumission was established over 500 years ago. However, African Americans today still experience its systemic ugliness. If this is your first time hearing about this law, call, text, share it with your children. They must learn about our past from us. Meritorious manumission was designed to control African Americans by offering a path to freedom through actions that only hurt the African Americans while reinforcing racism and the institution of slavery. Check out the 4 requirements of meritorious manumission. Number 1, saving the life of a white person. Saving the life. An enslaved African American could earn their freedom by saving a white person, particularly the owner or a member of the owner's family. This action by an enslaved African American was seen as demonstrating the highest loyalty as well as valuing the life of a Caucasian over the life of an African American. Criteria number 2, protecting a white person's property. Protecting a white person's property, let me say it correctly. An enslaved African American could secure their freedom if they protected a Caucasian's property. This second criteria was crucial for maintaining the economic stability of slaveholders. Criteria number three, inventing or creating something of monetary value that benefited the slaveholders' wealth. You know, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this one is amazing. The same people that they called ignorant, well, ignorant savages, the same people that they treated as less than human, the same people they denied every form of decency and integrity. These same people were expected to be inventors, to be creators, to be developers. This criteria highlights only physical oppression, but the mental exploitation of a so called inferior people, as well as the theft of their intellectual property. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Enslaved African Americans were rarely credited, or compensated for their inventions, which are too numerous to list. Parents, grandparents, do your homework. It will blow your mind sophisticated, what brilliant inventions our sophisticated, intelligent ancestors created. Blow your mind how many patents, how many recipes, how many ideas were stolen from them. Absolutely blow your mind how SMART, how inventive, how resilient they were. I tell you, our ancestors were super bad men and women. I guarantee you, if you do your homework, I guarantee you, if you learn your past, you'll start seeing yourself differently. In our next lesson, we'll do a deep dive to see if meritorious manumission was ever used to actually free an African American. Repeat this: break away, break through, break free, break up. Repeat it. In honor of my ancestors, in honor of my ancestors, I will no longer be ignorant of our past. I will no longer be ignorant of our past. Criteria number four, supply information that would suppress a slave revolt or hinder a slave escape. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just when you thought criteria number three was outlandish, wait, wait, never forget, with Caucasians, there is always more, always something else. Criteria number four, supplying information to help suppress a slave revolt. Now, this is the most insidious, most devious, most treacherous criteria of all. Listen, read between the lines. It meant in order for an enslaved African American to gain their freedom, they had to betray the African Americans who were seeking freedom through revolt, rebellion, or escape. So often, African Americans are stereotyped as having a crab in the basket mentality. However, do your homework. U.S. history tells a completely different narrative. What are you saying, Robert? What are you saying, DMV's favorite bishop? I'm saying this, that the 1710 law was the U.S. government's legal way to undermine and destroy unified African American resistance and progress. True story, no lie. This law was not written because we were crabs in a basket. This law was not written because for some reason they thought we were nothing but a bunch of Uncle Toms or Uncle Remuses. This law was written not because we are hoodlums, thugs, or hoodlums. This law, 1710, was written because they were afraid of us. They knew we were a peculiar people, a divinely gifted people, spiritually connected people. We were astronomers, kings, scholars, queens, scientists, musicians, chefs. You know that. So this law was written with one thought in mind: spread distrust, spread division, and hate of self within the ranks of a powerful community. And tragically, this and self self-hate and discord and division still tries to raise its ugly head today, doing all it can to defeat us. However, by unlearning lies and relearning and accepting spiritual truths, we can and we will save ourselves and save our descendants, our children, our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. Write this down. DMV's favorite bishop wants every Gen Xer, every Gen Yer, every Gen Zer, every baby boomer, every millennial to know. As a people, we didn't just inherit ancestral scars, pains, and wounds, but as a people, we also inherited ancestral wisdom, ancestral know-how, ancestral power. In 1710, you want to be free? Meritorious manumission. Save the life of a white person. Protect a white person's property. Develop something of economic value for white people. Inform white people about a slave revolt or rebellion. In 2024, you want to win at life, you want to be free, unlearn, relearn how to live and to love yourself, to love all people, to respect all people, to teach and to elevate, learn to serve your people. Until next time, break away